Yeah.
Hey. Ever.
The rocket intro. Yeah.
I'm still faceless, but it's fine.
Yeah.
We are still faceless, but we like
This is our first heavy metal hangout for ages. It's been since July, I think, was the last time we had a hangout.
Yeah, so
Middle of July.
I thought we'd do something a bit different and hopefully make this like a regular thing, like doing sort of top fives.
Yeah.
You're a bit funny with stuff like this. You're not as nerdy.
Oh, I hate choosing shit. I didn't do a top five. I just did the first 5 albums that popped into my head, basically.
Yeah, but you're such a massive Thrash fan now.
Yeah.
Forever picking you up.
I couldn't be bothered deliberating. I just thought, well, the first 5 good ones that jump into my head first, that would do for me.
Absolutely.
I don't know how everyone else is with like making their top listings, but I'm rubbish at it.
That's exactly how you do it. You just go right.
Yeah, they'll do. Yeah.
Bad mood, pick it.
So I'm hoping to make this like regular. We'll do like more top fives, like from different other genres or maybe or something. It'd be cool. You know, it's quite cool to watch these things on YouTube.
It's for you because you're a little neek, you're a little geeky,
a little bit.
You're a little nerdy for everything.
I hope to build your channel to like. So you don't have to.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. I like to pretend. I like to joke that Elric's got like his socks in like favorite order and like in his drawer. Like these are my top socks.
So I reckon we'll start with we got 2 guests from the band Dead Before Morning.
Yeah, right.
Matt and we got Gus.
I've seen these guys. They're not a death metal band, aren't they?
Thrash.
I thought they were death metal. I'm sure I've seen them before. I thought
it was probably just looking a bit rough that night.
Yeah, I'm sure they were quite. I don't know. I think I've got an album. I'm sure I've got an album.
Killing Time?
An album. Don't ask me to remember the name of anything. Yeah, no. Is it brown? I can't remember a brown-looking album. Do you have a brown-looking album?
We have been through a brown period. We just don't talk about it.
It might be another band with a completely different name. Who knows?
Like horrible leaders of the world on it. Werewolf's here.
Yeah, he's a big Crystal Palace fan. Boo.
They're my local team, yeah.
Are they your local team?
Yeah.
Sorry, based.
Right, who are we going to start with then? You want to start with one of the? Let's
start with the guests, either Matt or Gus.
We'll start with Gus. He's got no picture. So
I've got no face.
You have to paint a picture for us, like verbally, with what you're going to show us, mate. If you could just talk us through the album that you're holding up for no one to see, and we can.
Just like we'll go through doing the top 5, and then after we've done that, we can if you got any honourable mentions to talk about.
Yeah, we're just going to show one at a time each, aren't we? Just going to go around and show one each.
There's not a lot of us. We could do that, can we?
Yeah, I thought it was the best way to do it. Just to do one each.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
All right. Doesn't have to be in order.
No.
No. What's your number 5?
No, I've got no particular order because I couldn't remember them. But shall I go with just one for the time being?
Yeah, go for one.
Yeah.
So,
and we can discuss it.
Yeah.
My first pick will be Anthrax Among the Living because it's one of it's Anthrax's magnum opus in my opinion.
Right.
And there's just so many bangers on it, and you can't deny it really. It's
not a bad album. Yeah. I think I prefer Madhouse because it's the first one that I got, and I tend to find the first one you get tends to be the one you like the most. I always find
that was the first Anthrax album I actually heard, so that's probably coloured my opinion there. But you just can't deny the riffs, man.
Well, that's what got you into loving the band in the first place, and it's hard to
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah. Go on, Gray.
No, so what about everyone else? What's their favourite Anthrax albums?
Well, let's not give it away. Is it going
to be? Okay, so you might have an Anthrax album in your list then.
Maybe.
I mean, I'm surprised you haven't ranked them all yet, Elric. What's going on? Why have you not ranked all the Anthrax albums
really
yet?
ranked in order either. It's too difficult. But,
what about you, Matt?
I saw that live at Hammersmith. Nice fucking video from that tour, and that blew me away. That's what got me into Anthrax. Fuck me, was he really? I know someone else that was there. It's just I could have been, but I was a bit young and sort of not really knowing that music that much at the time. So
I can't remember
that one. I was right down the front, about 5 rows from the front of that one. It was a good gig.
Are you in the video?
Probably, yeah. I think the back of my head is.
Yeah.
It's normally a wise choice for any director.
Yeah.
Do you want to go for your number 5 then, Matt? Or, or whatever one you want to pick?
Well, funny enough, My number 5, and just to show you here, because I didn't dig them out.
All right.
It's all on digital now.
Oh, yeah.
Is Among the Living.
Yeah.
That's why I was sitting here laughing.
Oh, cool. Right, that's good.
There you go.
That's why we're in the same band, Matt.
Yeah.
That's probably why we're in the same band.
You guys ain't sat up late after a practice, like getting drunk and talking about your favourite albums, and somehow you've, like, absorbed each other's albums.
Probably, but it'd be more wonderful the fact that we remembered it.
Yeah.
No, I've not heard that.
I haven't heard that, no.
Yeah. I bet that's interesting.
That's worth a look. I'll write that down.
Did everyone still appreciate Anthrax during during the John Bush period? Did everyone still? For me, after the blinking persistence of time, I couldn't be bothered with them anymore. It's like, I was not Thrash anymore. Not interested.
Bad choice. Thanks, Jason. I've made a note of that. That was a bad choice. I thought if they'd have done it under another name.
Yeah, when that Sound
that can happen sometimes.
When that Sound of White Noise album came out, I hated it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, looking back at it, I sort of don't mind it so much now. But when it came out, I was like, "Oh, what's going on? What's this?"
I didn't even listen to
that tonic again, isn't it? That tonic of that guitar sound. So you get that guitar sound and you know what you're going to expect, and then something else happens. And
I definitely think he had his place, but he's not Belladonna, really, is he?
He was great live. No. I saw Anthrax live with him, and it was still good, you know. He doesn't quite have his range, but it's still awesome.
Jason enjoyed the John Bush era.
I
liked Turpin as well. Was it Dan Turpin?
Well, he was an amazing singer.
I thought it was with their first album, Metal Thrashing Mad. It was a fucking cracking album.
Yeah,
it's really good. The energy on that is.
Yeah.
What was that, Gus?
They should have got Dick Turpin.
Dick Turpin. Oh yeah, he was Stand and Deliver. They could have done some Adamant covers.
Yeah. Was Fistful of Metal album? Yeah, it's pretty good.
I try and remember the first Anthrax gig I went to. I remember joining the fan club. I can't remember. I remember seeing them somewhere a couple of times probably, but fuck no. Neil Turpin. I think Dan Turpin is the detective from a Superman comic book. I just remembered he's on the Metropolitan Police Force. Dan Turpin, I think. Anyway,
I think Anthrax should have given Betty Turpin a go.
Who's Betty Turpin when she's at home?
She used to do the hot pot in Coronation Street.
Oh, fair enough.
Gray, I'll go next. I'll tell you why I'm going to go next
because you want to. Oh, you got another Anthrax. It's
Among the Living.
Among the Living, okay.
Well, of course.
It has to be. I mean, you just can't deny the songs. I mean, fucking title track, Caught in a Mosh, I Am the Law, Nice Fucking Yeah, Indians.
Yeah.
And I like all the in the lyrics you have like mosh part and things like that. Which I thought was a pretty cool idea. They kind of invented that word in a way, Anthrax, but yeah.
Did it not come from like the hardcore scene or the punk scene?
Well, moshing did, but
I
don't think it was called moshing.
Right.
I had never heard of it until Anthrax came along.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
I really hadn't. Others,
So they invented mosh and not.
Yeah.
No,
it's such a great album, isn't it? Such a great album.
Yeah.
It's like melodic, well, but heavy and thrashing.
I'm guessing that Scott Ian got that from school or from growing up with a name that's two first names, Scott Ian.
Yeah.
Scott, not Ian.
Yeah, possibly.
No, it's Scott, not Ian. And I bet that's why I say this day that came from there.
That sounds like a good theory anyway. I'd say that much for it. All right, so I'm going to move away from Anthrax. This is quite an early one that I picked up when I was getting albums, and this is the first
nerd, by the way.
This is the first one I bought by this band as well, and so it's Death Angel Frolic for the Park. This is one of the bands that I've seen so many times over the years. Like they come over to London, so I wish I made a note of what gigs I went to, but I must have seen them about 10 times now. I don't know. It feels like I've seen them every time they came over. I remember this is the first time I saw them was on this tour in December 88, I think it was, or 88 or 89. They were supporting Motorhead, and I saw them on that tour. So it was like, they were really young.
Little
they were the last band I saw big band wise before the pandemic hit. Me and the guitarist Dom from Devastation.
Yeah.
We went up and saw them in Nottingham supporting Exodus, and they played a little show in the rescue rooms, and it was fucking blinding, man.
And they all got COVID, didn't they? Yeah, they fucking nearly died, a couple of them, didn't they? There was one of them.
And you know what? I tell you what, looking back at it, they all looked rough.
Right.
Yeah, but we obviously didn't know back then. But they
exactly.
Still, so they're a fantastic band.
Yeah. Fucking, just fingers crossed, touch wood that they never fucking croaked it, because it's so easy to fucking do, isn't it?
They got it. They got it on their driver. I've seen an interview with the band, and the guitarist was really ill.
Yeah.
And obviously Testament got it because they were all on that package tour, weren't they? With Testament and Exodus, and they all got ill.
Right.
Yeah. I've got to leave now. Okay. My favourite Anthrax is Spreading Disease. Yeah, that's probably me.
Yeah, Phil,
it's a great album. Well.
Good shout.
It's a good shout. It's a great album.
First one I said. What did I say? I said it, but I said the wrong name, I think.
Got Madhouse on it, so yeah.
Well, yeah, it's Spreading the Disease, isn't it?
Yeah.
That single. Do you remember the video? I remember that being on top of the pops, and everyone was like, "What the fuck?" Yeah.
Got banned.
I was the only one at school going.
The great thing about Anthrax, they broke it bigger in England and Europe than America, because all their videos were getting banned in America. So they're all popular in Europe. When they went back home, they went home to nothing, basically. Interesting. But,
he's fallen away.
He's fallen away.
He's fallen away. He's fallen and he cannot get up.
I shall send him a text to insult him further.
Yeah, we'll start the next round, then maybe he'll pop back in at some point if he's able to.
He will when he finds one he disagrees with.
All right, so go back to you, Matt, for your second choices, shall we?
Okay. Basically, I'm going to go with Exodus, Bonded by Blood.
Right.
Which I think is just a stunning album for its time and everything. It's just a stunning album, you know what I mean? And then everything afterwards. One of my favourite long-term thrash bands. Yeah.
Only one album for me that was shit, and that was Force of Habit.
Yeah, there you go.
Fucking, that really pisses me off.
I just changed direction a bit.
Totally pisses me off to this day, because the last record on the album before was Thrash Under Pressure. Will always be Thrash Under Pressure, and then they come out with some bluesy fucking rock shite, which wasn't Thrash Under Pressure at all. It was like weak fucking balls.
No, I hear that. Yeah, I do hear that. I think every band does that. I'm still waiting.
Yeah, it's certainly a thing. I always put it down to trying to get like more like wider fan base. So they sort of like tone down a bit. I always seem to think as well that they do that for one album, then they realise that everyone fucking hated it, and all you're doing is pissing off your original fans, and they go back to like what they were doing before, like.
Do you know what I think was one of the major causes for all that to happen was because Metallica Black Album got massive success with it.
Yeah,
I think everyone tried to do a Black Album, didn't they?
Yeah.
Testament.
I agree. Do you know what? And I'm going back a bit now, but I remember I did a demo with a band called Dead Zone. And Steve was the drummer, Steve Ebsworth, who's Dead Before Morning's drummer now. Me and him have been together since before the dawn of time. And I remember the producer then was bang on making it sound like the Black Album, everything crisp and bang, bobbing, you know, it was really hard.
My mate's always got a line.
He has. He's from South London, isn't he, originally?
Yeah, he's from that's why he supports Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. You can see the matches from Gus's house. Free ticket.
All right, if we don't, shall I go for my one next? We're still waiting.
Yeah, I'm looking at Dead Before Morning. I know I've seen them live. I have got an album of theirs. Unless I'm confusing it with another band. I'm sure it was a death metal band. Similar name. I don't know.
Buy one.
Yeah. Buy one now. You have to put your link down below after because Elric never sent me your information or nothing, so I could have put your link in so people can. Have you got a Facebook page in that? A YouTube channel?
Yeah. Basically, got the internet on deadbeforemorning.com. So
let me check. He's got
Facebook.
Let me find any. You got a YouTube though? Well, I'll put the link for the YouTube in the chat, and I'll add it to
the YouTube on there.
Yeah, you can promote your stuff right at the end, before we go, do that.
Yeah. I always forget about that.
Yeah.
Everyone sub up Dead Before Morning.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've got some live footage. I might download the live footage from a gig and play it if I have got some. I might have some on my channel.
That's probably what it was from the last festival we did at Hoxton. I know that was all filmed.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to search. I'm going to search to see if I've got any. Is it your turn again, Elric?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, let's put you on big screen then.
Yeah.
Put you on the big screen.
Pretty boring and obvious, but they're just sort of classic albums. I think this is the only thrash album from this band, really, properly, and it's also arguably it opened all the doors, and pretty much arguably it's the first thrash album, and it's Kill 'Em All, Metallica. It's got to be done. It's amazing. I don't think Ride Lightning, Master Puppets are really thrash albums. There's a couple of fast things on it. But really, this is I would say their only proper thrash album, which is why I've included it. But it is awesome. Hit the lights.
That's the original. That is the original Garage Days.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It's raw, fast, Whiplash, Phantom Lord.
Even the title, it was going to be Metal Up Your Arse, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Allowed to, so.
Metal Militia.
I think they went with a better name, to be honest.
And when this come out and everyone heard it, everyone had to put their acts up, get better. Exodus heard this, Death Angel heard it. They all these bands that are around the same time heard this and thought, oh fuck, I
mean, I remember it very well at the time. I remember it very well. And I tell you, it was weird because they went totally Marmite for about 6 months.
Yeah.
You either loved Metallica or you hated Metallica.
Yeah.
And it was weird. You had all your Motorheads, your Saxon fans, your true metalheads,
Yeah.
And suddenly they hated Metallica.
Really? Yeah. Too aggressive, maybe.
But your Iron Maiden fans, and and then Slayer dropped, and and then it all became one again. It was quite strange at that time.
Right.
It was you had
our time, Graham.
You had Thrashers, Metalheads, and the Glammy Boys, with all your Bon Jovi and that.
Oh, God,
Suddenly, and I hated it. It was like, what's going on, man? Basically back to normal now.
It also, I think a lot of this fast thrash music started bringing a lot of the punk fans in as well later on.
Yeah,
a bit later on, to be fair, but it's because they used to clash quite a lot, didn't they? But which is why you got Stormtroopers of Death, where they try to mesh the two together,
and still do it wonderfully. I love it. Still listen to them now, man.
Gus is back.
Good timing.
I'll return.
You mentioned Stormtroopers of Death, that's why.
Oh, you know what? I forgot to put that as an honorable mention.
Right.
That was on my list as well.
Which one's on your list, Gus?
Speak English or Die.
All right. Is that your next choice?
It is now.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. We all forgot it. Yeah.
No. It's not a bad album. It's not a bad album. But it's got its place. It's more of a jokey kind of thrash, isn't it, really?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I've heard a lot of people saying that.
Stupidly
I'll
heavy.
go with that, Kenneth.
Yeah. I know people I was listening to a podcast that's called School of Metal or something like that. They're talking about each year albums that come out, and they've said that the first album is just like speed metal, a lot more speed metal than thrash. It's a lot more kind of you listen to some of the songs, it's not really thrash. It's just slightly speedier heavy metal. But after that they went full thrash, didn't they? Yeah, that was them kind of testing the waters, I think.
I've got a little way I explain that is. If you want to know the difference between speed metal and thrash metal, look at the guitarist's face. If he's doing thrash metal, he's concentrating on something he's only just got right. He's constantly trying to do something better. Speed metal, you're into it, and it's a different vibe. If you get speed metal, it's all safe for the solos.
Yeah.
Thrash metal, even the drummers, everyone's changing about. That's why we do it, I think. We don't intentionally try and make music complicated or anything.
Yeah, it just happens.
It just happens because it feels right. You know, when you hear some of these, you're like, listen to Jeff Waters. You know, some of his stuff, Annihilator, where his rhythms are going up and then backwards and then up and then it's all art, it's orchestrated, it's lovely.
Yeah.
So I just thought, I've always thought of it like that.
Yeah.
The guitarist's face. If he's concentrating and trying not to fuck up, it's probably fun.
Cool.
Oh, yeah. I love that Stormtroopers of Death album though. Like Speak English or Die. Like it's just
totally un-PC.
Yeah, totally un-PC.
Oh yeah, no, you never get away with it.
Didn't exist back then.
No, you certainly wouldn't.
I think like it's often said that the track Milk is the first song with a blast beat on.
Yeah, that's credited to Charlie Benante.
Yeah. But early DIY has blast beats as well, so I'm not sure if it's the first. Anyway, Ray, it's you.
Can you not blare the background out?
Into conversation.
Okay.
So domestic.
I don't know. I was going to mute for a second in case there was a private conversation. I go with some Swiss Thrash, Coroner, R.I.P.
Good album.
Yeah.
The other two, they have 5 albums. The first 3 are great. The 4th and 5th album are a bit.
Coroner,
But the first album is awesome. First album's top. Nice, speedy, caustic vocals. You know, it's kind of getting slightly deafy, maybe. Just I don't know, because the harshness of the vocals, kind of thing. The sharpness of the vocals.
It's quite technical,
very,
well.
yeah, he's very technical. Yeah.
It's one of them albums that I think musicians would listen to more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or people that want something totally different, because it is.
It's hard to believe they're a 3-piece as well. When you listen to it, you think, "Fuck man, there's just 3 people doing that." And then you see, I've got like a live video of them, and they just fucking deliver it live on stage as well. Like it's fucking really good.
That's the real test, isn't it? I love seeing that. As soon as I hear a song or a band I don't know, the first thing I do is try and search them out live. Just you know, playing in gigs for many years now, where we play now.
Yeah,
so much talent out there, but there are some bands that sound so different now because of the digital age and that. There's some that sound so different. You see them live, and it's totally, it's totally different. And it's like, guys, what are you doing? You know, you're making this not real. You know what I mean?
Also, like lot of Thrash you can sort of sing along to. You know, you got the verse, chorus. I mean, comedy, you can't really make out what he's saying. So it's kind of like it's got that kind of element to it as well, makes it a little bit different.
Aggressive vocal.
Yeah, you kind of have to guess what he's singing because you can't. There's it's not so catchy, if you know what I mean. It's not like designed to be nothing but catchy lyrics like some Thrash is.
It's designed to destroy.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, that's it.
I find the catchiness with Thrash tends to go with a rhythm.
Yeah,
that's happening in there that you can't help.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. There's the odd Thrash song where the chorus is just like unbelievably sing along, and it's because of what's happening under it.
I think Among the Living has that.
Thinking about it, I think the second and third album by Coroner have got a lot more catchy, a lot more easy to make out on the second and third albums. No More Colour and Punishment for Decadence. Is that Coroner? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. A lot more kind of chorusy kind of ones where you can sing along to.
So we're on number 3 now, aren't we?
Yeah, did Gus do his? No, he did. What do you call it? He did SOD, didn't he?
Do you want Gus? Do you want to go for number 3?
Yeah, we'll go for number 3. So my number 3 is going to be Slayer.
Yeah,
of course, because you can't have a Thrash conversation about Slayer. But I'm going to go for a bit of a weird take because it was the first Slayer record I ever heard and made me fall in love with the band. It's actually God Hates Us All.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Fair enough.
It was just, I'd never really heard Thrash before. I'd obviously heard Master of Puppets, which is obviously, excellent. I hadn't really heard Slayer beyond the song Rain in Blood. And then someone let me God Hates Us All, and I just played it back to front and just went, fuck me. That's heavy as fuck. When I was, 12 years old, I was just like, oh my God, yeah, God hates us all, fucking Slayer. And ever since then, I've been a Slayer fan. So
it's a cool record, actually. I mean, the thing that's if you want to check out, me and Graham actually did a album ranking of Slayer.
Yeah.
So that sort of comes in around middle for me, but I do like it.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It's really angry. It's like super angry, sort of like
the lyrics on some of the songs are fantastic.
Just like really kicking religion up the arse big time, more than every other album.
When you're an angsty 13, 14-year-old and you hear Payback, you just go, yeah man, that's me. So
it's a shame about that. I don't know about you, Gus, but I always find with Divine Intervention, they didn't like all the messing about with the mix and the production. But the lyrics on that album and on God Hates Us All are some of Tom's best lyrics.
Yeah, Divine Intervention is my Weird Slayer album that I really like. It's one of my favourite Slayer albums. I think I ranked it something like 4th or something. I love Divine Intervention. I like the production. It's super dark.
Yeah,
the whole album's really dark. And I love it. Paul Bostov's drumming on that is just fucking insane.
What a song is 213?
Yeah, I know.
What a song.
Fuck. Yeah, I know.
But yeah, mate, God Hates Us All is one hell of an album.
Yeah, God Hates Us All is really good. Yeah.
It knocks your face off. The opening drum intro, it just knocks your face off, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm just terrible for remembering. I mean, I listened to it when I first got it. I probably never listened to it again. You know what I mean? A lot of these albums, because back in the day, I was buying too many records really to really get into them enough. You know, Like you get payday, you go to the shop, spend £100 on whatever records took your fancy, and if they didn't get into your head by the time the next payday come around, they never got another look in because you'd have a new month's worth of records to look at and listen to.
Yeah, I used to do that. Not in no exchange.
That's right. I used to go. Is it Mr. CD on Berwick Street? You know, Berwick Street, Mr. CD. Select a disc, was it? Yeah. There's a few on there.
Shop Select a disc. Unfortunately, it's not so much now. But
there was a Reckless Records on there as well, down there as well, isn't there? That I used to go to a lot.
That's right. Yeah, because I was always at Denmark Street up the road, so I used to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, Bloodlines on that album as well. That was there, quite a catchy number. That I like that one. And
very controversial video, wasn't it?
Yeah, Cast Down. Yeah, pretty mad. God Sends Death. Yeah, it's a good album.
Yeah.
No one's carved Slayer into their arms at all at any point. They were very drunk.
They wanted that to be the cover, but of course it was banned.
Yeah.
Actually, I love
Red Vinyl.
I love the inner covers to Diabolos and Musica. Now that's really good. Slayer got a certain way of doing that. Don't matter how heavy bands get or whatever. No one's ever as nasty as Slayer ever was.
I know. I mean, like the Slayer had a few albums that were but nothing like. Well, I thought they really, really took a downturn. I thought they were consistent. They were all good. Yeah, but there were some amazing ones along the way. You know, there's lots of. You know, there's no real down peaks in there. You know,
I really love World Painted Blood. I listen to it a lot.
Yeah, I thought that
they're more recent ones.
I thought that as my bottom Slayer album actually, but I still like it. Do you know what I mean? I still like it.
Is it Christ Insanity? Is that the one before?
Yeah, Christ Illusion.
Christ Illusion. I like that one. I first heard it. I thought that was like a return to like early days when I first got that one. I was quite.
They just got Lombardo back.
Oh, Gus is gone. I realised.
Yeah, he went.
I lost track where we are.
We just did Slayer.
We're on 3, aren't we? So
we dig as well. He drops in and out.
I can't remember one you chose now. It was.
Go on, Matt. Number 3, Matt.
Right,
that was his number 3, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, that was Gus's number 3.
Oh, was it? Oh, right. Fucking hell.
We're yapping too much.
Yeah.
Mine. Well, it just wouldn't be right, would it, if you didn't say Slayer's magnum opus. Come on, it's got to be done, isn't it? Rain in Blood.
Yeah.
It's a stamp on the whole thing.
Yeah.
Everybody enjoying Metallica. Good. Check this out.
Yeah.
That's what happened with that album. And
I can imagine
a whole genre grew.
Yeah. But they're chalk and cheese, though, aren't they? Really, when you look at them, it's like you know what I mean. You can't really compare the Metallica to that album. That album is just like
even now it's ferocious. It's like
the
production is just out of this world.
But at the time, that was it.
Yeah,
only these two bands everyone had heard just for a small time. Then you got the others dropping in, Flotsam and Jetsam, and all the
later
others. But these two bands were going quicker than everyone else, so everyone just stuck them in the same genre.
Yeah,
and I always thought it was quite weird. You know what I mean? Because I could never really listen to the two at the same time.
I've always wanted to ask someone of that time because I was too young, really. Like,
so was
what must it have been? What must it have been like to hear fucking Rain in Blood in '86?
Well, I remember hearing
nothing like it.
It was very good.
Yeah. I remember hearing it when I was.
Seeing it was bad.
Yeah.
There's a mate who I went to Monsters of Rock '88 with my first proper metal gig, actually, I think. And he had Rain in Blood, and I remember going in his little room. I can't remember what else we were listening to at that time. And hey, listen to this, it's a new one. And it was just like, whoa! It felt like I was being like, it felt like metaphorical, like wind blowing my hair back or something like that. My face is being peeled backwards with turbulence or something. It was like, what the fuck? Yeah.
And it still does.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to listen to it.
Exactly.
It still hits hard.
Yeah. So you're not listening to it for a few years, because I was like, a couple of years ago now, I was going to a gig and someone was playing it in their van. It was like, fucking hell, this is still fucking as exciting and as bloody intense and, gets you as it ever did.
Who was on at Donington '88? I'm trying to remember.
Iron Maiden headline.
That's right.
Megadeth. Yeah.
I was there.
Was you there as well?
Yeah,
cool.
The biggest one's 110,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, my mate got poked in the eye in a mosh.
I'm surprised.
Guns N' Roses played and all.
Well, two people got killed, didn't they? Two people got drowned in mud or something in the mosh pit, didn't they? During Guns N' Roses. Yeah. The crush. It wasn't a mosh pit, it was just the crush. Everyone was going forward because there was like a big band, and everyone must rush forward. I don't know what happened, but yeah, fucking two people
after that.
Yeah, fucking shocking.
Yeah. Right, I'm actually going next. I'll go next because,
right.
I want to.
Yeah, why not? Save the best till last.
Yeah, said it, so fuck it.
Is that your missus playing VR behind you? I'm waiting for her to twat you around the back of the head, trying to kill her like a monster or something.
She's on the VR.
Is she like, if she's playing some kind of fighting game and she suddenly does a flying kick to the back of your head, that would be quite amusing.
What's striking about this album as well is the artwork. I mean, the previous Slayer artwork was kind of a bit juvenile, but this is like fucking hell, serious dark shit.
What one is it? You're on Rain in Blood as well?
Yeah, Rain in Blood, yeah.
Right, okay. Your light is shit, Elric. Can't see fuck all. All I can see is a reflection of the fucking computer screen on the album cover. Seriously. Get yourself a light, man.
Light, man.
Stop living by candles. It's no good for you. You go blind.
I've got fairy lights around the guitar.
I
know where they are nowadays.
Yeah.
I've got my phone somewhere. That's with a torch.
What lights you got in there? Have you not got an overhead fluorescent light in that room?
Yeah, but it's not very bright.
Oh, right. That's weird.
Yeah, it's nighttime.
It's super dark, isn't it? It's not just that it's not very bright. It's just like dark. Oh well.
Oh, I can't find my phone because my phone would have a torch in it, and I could make it.
Gus has sent me his list, by the way, because he says the internet where he lives is being a git.
Yeah.
So, right. So, yeah.
Let him know he's missed anyway. Right. So your next choice is Rain in Blood as well, Elric.
Yay! There you go. We've got some light.
Cool.
Yeah, Rain in Blood.
Cool.
See it now.
Was that your top album then? When you did the Slayer listing, I can't remember. Was the top album? Was it? Yeah.
Yeah. And it's probably is my all-time favorite Thrash album. I would say if I had to pick one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like unrelenting as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like fucking fast all the way through, but has cool breakdowns. The sound is amazing. Like Tom's voice, just everything about it.
It's intense. The intensity just washes over you from start to finish. and you get even like the blinking rainy blood, even though it starts off slow, sounds heavy. Just with the blinking, the thunder or whatever. Just the fucking mood of that when that starts after like breakneck speed suddenly breaks off into like wow, super intense without being fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm glad. It's funny how I knew these albums would appear. It's great, man. I'll tell you.
I've tried to go with some of like a bit different, like with mine. I didn't want to.
Honorable mentions I have a few.
Yeah, I try not to pick any of the real big names. So my next one, I've got to represent a bit of UK thrash. So I've got Sabbat Dreamweaver, fucking class album.
Yeah.
Real fucking just a fucking magnificent album, man. It's just got so many cool tracks on it, like awesome, interesting lyrics as well. It's just just fucking
weird.
Great album.
Look at those haircuts, man.
Yeah, they're a bit hair metal almost. I don't know.
They got Andy Smith hasn't got that hair now.
He's got a bit of guy liner on Martin Walkier on this one. Bit of guy liner.
He always did though, didn't he? He always had
me and him used to drink in the Salutation in Nottingham, man. That was when he was working with after Sabbat, and he started doing Skyclad.
Yeah.
And that with them, like, and always a good lad, Martin. I'll tell you. Nice guy. Yeah, big up to you, Martin, if you're out there, mate.
I see him at there was a festival in fucking Ibstock, not Ibstock, fucking Colville in Leicester. And he was doing, it was like a folk metal, like all dayer, and he would like introduce the bands kind of thing. And I didn't exactly chat to him, but kind of like, not a massive conversation or nothing. But he was thinking of what he could say about introduce one of the bands. And he was like a French band. I said, why don't you do the old hello bit? And like he went on and he kind of introduced them like fucking now pay attention or whatever. One of the lines was fucking hello, whatever it was.
I'll say it only once.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
He always wanted to talk to me because I was going out to barmaid at the time and he didn't have much money.
It wasn't. I wouldn't say he wouldn't talk to me. I just didn't have really the nerve to talk to him. Really, I mean, I chatted to just like because I don't like to bother people. So, but he seemed approachable. I'm not really going to approach people.
There was a pool table there, and there was only one pool table, and like there was all the bands used to drink in there when there was no gigs on, And this was a few years back now, but there was us and the guys from Napalm Death as well. They were always in there, but champion guys really were, like sort of the earth guys. You could see how they were going through, where their metal came from.
Yeah. Give me one. Cheers. And while he's getting to the fridge, you might as well pick mine up while he's in there. He's got to come back past me anyway.
I had mine delivered in VR.
In VR, did you? That's cool. It's my turn. Is it my turn? No, it's my turn. Cheers.
Gus, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right,
Gus. We'll let Matt deliver Gus's, then he can do his own.
Where is he put it? TV. Hang on. Oh yeah, there you go. Right. So he's on his number 2, isn't he? Or is his number 1 now?
No, he's got number two.
Right, he's done that. Right, in that case, going the other way around, it was municipal waste.
Okay.
Partying.
Right.
Which is definitely another. If you like the Stormtroopers of Death, and you go and buy a municipal waste album, you're going to love it.
Yeah.
And they really are. They're right on the edge of going punk. They in metal. They're really good. I agree with Gus on that one. I love them.
Oh, they're great. I love municipal waste.
Another intense listen,
Yeah.
So not one of them bands I never really listened to a great deal. Actually, I've not really listened to a massive amount. But what I've heard seems all right. But yeah, it's not
kind of new old school in a way.
Yeah.
They got that old school kind of aesthetic.
Yeah.
Suicidal with their vocal lines as well. Suicidal tendencies.
Oh yeah, Suicidal used to be my favourite thrash band back in the day when I used to make up what my favourites were. Suicidal was my favourite thrash band back in the day. But yeah.
That reminds me, actually. I did forget. I'll say Jake Bristow, who comes on.
You've bloody well forgotten all the blinking ones. Give us his top.
I'll do them now.
All right. So what was he just? Municipal Waste. One of those I kind of stopped buying records by the time they came around. So I listened to them, but I wasn't really buying stuff. So I never actually went out and bought any of their stuff. Have you got any of theirs, Elric?
Yeah, I've got
It's kind of like digital.
Something aggression. I can't remember. I got
Right.
that. But that album you mentioned, like Art Parting. Yeah, that's classic.
I just think they know what genre they want to be in, and they're in it, and they do it really well. So I think they hold it really well, you know what I mean? And Gus has always it was when Gus joined Dead Before Morning, he started getting me into it more, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was playing it in the van on the way. He was like, this is cool.
They're real kind of like mosh pit energy, aren't they?
Yeah,
kind of like party metal. Don't leave nothing behind. Like put it all in, leave it all in the pit and crawl home.
Oh, they must be knackered after a gig.
Yeah. I've seen them a couple of times. They're great to see live as well. I'll tell you why, because I'll just run through like up to date with Jake's.
I couldn't keep up with that kind of fucking pit action. Maybe if I ever could.
Maybe not that.
If I never could, I'd give it a try back in the day before my fucking asthma started playing me up. But yeah, nowadays, no way.
I used to love being in the mosh pits. Actually, I was pretty mad because I'm into my punk as well, so I used to go to punk shows and stuff like that. Yeah, but maybe not so much now. But you know, I always tell myself I'll get back into it again. And
your recovery time is not going to be the same, Elric. It's not wise, mate.
It hurts more.
Know your limits.
Have to pull Gus out of him because he's got to do a show. Like it's like 20 minutes before we're due on, and he's moshing out to the band that are on before. It's smashed all over the place.
It's good if you can, I could barely fucking stand at a fucking gig. If I stand up for too long at a gig, I'm fucking knackered. Let alone going in the mosh pit. It's fucking terrible.
So the reason why I thought of Jake because he also picked Municipal Waste Art Partying as well.
Right.
One of his
now you tell us.
Yes.
Yeah. Now I tell you. It also pits Onslaught the Force.
Oh, good. That's a good one. Well, I was thinking about UK. I've got to have at least one UK thrash. I did consider the Force. That is one of those. Right.
Blood.
Yeah.
I'll give you one more. He went for Sepultura Beneath the Remains.
All right then. I was never too sure I always thought it was kind of a little bit more leaning towards death metal, but
I know. I'm not sure whether to put in the thrash conversation.
At the time, death metal was just sort of coming big into itself, and so to me, I always considered them like more death metal. But it's all good.
Beneath. Also, they had that Scott Burns producing,
right?
As well. But I think they're always for the thrash band, aren't they? Sepultura, really.
I think the early ones, the first couple were thrash.
I know what you mean. It's kind of like death thrash, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What say you, Matt? Are they thrash or death?
Doesn't matter. Thrash.
You ain't a thrash, right?
Yeah, the thing about go to like thrash is you can sub. What's the word I'm looking for? You can
sub genre
little categories and that. And at the end of the day, really, that's where you end up with your death metal and your doom metal and your stoner metal and all this stuff. It's just all metal to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's fun to categorise. We all do it. It's human beings. It's a natural thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
But, I'll go with that. I'll say thrash, but just done their way.
Yeah. Matt, have you got a number 2 pick? Have you got 2 more? I can't remember now.
I think
he just did Gus, so.
Yeah.
Well, I've got to say it. They haven't really had a mention yet, but when it comes to thrash for me, it's always about that individual sound and guitars, and drum rhythms and that. So it's got to be Rust in Peace. It's got to be Megadeth Rust in Peace.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The surprise to everyone with that hit. For me,
well, it's an amazing album. It's my favourite Megadeth. I'm always like wonder whether to put that in the thrash category. It's almost like a progressive metal album, isn't it? But it is dark enough, though, isn't it? It's still dark enough, I would say.
See, the thing is, I can see him. It's funny, but I can see him doing what we've all done, sitting there in a room with his mate, going, but then stop it there and then reverse it. Yeah, and then go to this rhythm. Yeah, do that. Yeah, and that's what that album is.
Yeah. It feels like the peak in Megadeth because it has that old sort of style, but with the sort of bigger production, but also has the progressiveness. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an incredible album.
More virtuoso guitar kind of stuff.
Yeah, and Dave Mustaine's voice in that album as well is that's nasty, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's just really spiteful and nasty.
And then they split up and never brought out any records after that, I believe.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Is that not the case? That's how I would like to think of it anyway. That's how I prefer to.
I can't. If you listen to what they've done in the last 10 years, mate, the last 15 years, there's some incredible musicianship. You get some water. I mean, the last album, what was it? Dystopia.
Yeah.
He got an award for the production on it, a Grammy award. He really has mastered it now.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff they're coming out with is incredible. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of controversy. There always is. But I think with him, that's just because that's his arty side that makes him a bit of an a-hole, you know?
Yeah.
But when you look at what that arty side produces to be, it's just fantastic.
Yeah. Also, fast, copious amounts of cocaine.
Yes, that's always a plus.
Produce an album like Rust in Peace.
Yeah. I mean, he's totally born again now and everything.
Yeah, that goes to show you cocaine's better than God when it comes to writing metal.
That's what I mean, you know what I mean?
And
he only does a half-hour set now and goes home.
Yeah, praise.
But all that aside, they've been there since the beginning for me, mate. They've always been the ones like, well, yeah, here's what everyone's doing. Here's our version of it. And I've always thought, wow, that's fucking blown me away. Some of them lead solos on their first albums were cutting edge. And it really was him. It was him going to Metallica. Look, I'm better than him.
Yeah. It's like jazz metal, wasn't it?
I think I preferred them over Metallica, Megadeth, like my own personal, purchasing or whatever. Yeah. I'm kind of like, I've got a weird fucking brain, and I kind of thought Metallica a bit overhyped. I never bought any of their records. I never bought any records till well late on. Yeah, I was like, I heard them everywhere I went. I knew all the fucking songs. You hear them in every club, so they were okay. But all these other bands are just as good. But I don't know. When I saw them go cheap, like $5 on CD, I ended up buying them because I appreciate it. And I've seen them live a few times as well, even though I never really actually owned any of their albums.
It got saturated after a while. Like everyone anticipating, and they still play on that now, don't they? They do pre-album concerts where they just go on stage and talk about their album to 10,000 people. I'm like, come on, I'll do that on here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well,
it's true.
Well, Matt, I'm glad you mentioned it, Matt, because I weren't sure whether to put this album on. Because I weren't sure, is it thrashy enough? Is it a tech metal album? Or so I also went for Rust in Peace.
Right. Yeah, I definitely count it as thrash. I always count it as thrash. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's got the speed. It's got the guitar licks. It's cool.
Yeah, it's just an unbelievable album. I mean, like Holy Wars. Hanger 18, Take No Prisoners, Five Magics. Yeah, Tornado Souls and the title track. Did you ever really remastered version of it? It was weird as shit.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Sounds really different.
They got me silly, didn't they?
Yeah, it's quite strange. Don't get it. It's weird.
Right, is it my second one now?
Yeah,
everyone's gone, haven't they?
Oh.
I like going last, so I can I don't know why. I do it on my other show that I do as well. I do a comic related show, and I always go last on that. But anyway, Vio-lence.
Of the channel.
Yeah, Vio-lence, Eternal Nightmare. Fucking amazing album.
Awesome album cover.
Oh, yeah.
It's best, isn't it?
This is right early on when I was getting into like branching out from Iron Maiden kind of. It's quite early on. I remember reading, and this is back in the day before I realised that when they say something sounds horrible, or the way it was described, reading it on Metal Forces, it sounded like it's going to be horrible. It was going on about like barbed wire being dragged through your ears, something like that. That sounds fucking horrible. Oh, I don't know. I want to listen to that. And I saw it in the shop in Ilford, and I was on training for my first job. And I like the cover. I'll give it a try. And I was fucking, oh man, this is amazing. So it was like, that's when I realised it's hyperbole or bloody well symbolism. Whatever. It's nothing like having barbed wire pulled through your ears. It's much more pleasant than that. It's fucking awesome, fucking thrash excellence. Just not a fucking. It's like, I suppose you can compare it to Raining Blood from that fact it's non-stop fucking speed all the way through. There's not a fucking dull moment. a few people don't like Sean Killian's vocals, but I think they're awesome. I love that fucking crazy fucking style that he brings. Oh, it's unusual, yeah, but I love it. It's like I just think it's like another instrument to me.
Yeah. That's exactly why you look at it. It's another instrument.
Yeah, and it brings like just fucking crazy like sound to it. But
no, go on.
I would say, but for me, I know how controversial this is, but like everything else they did after this was shit in comparison. It was okay if it had been a different band. Like it would have been good for a lot of other bands, but after this, it just like it couldn't compare. Anything else I can't remember the name of the album. It was so boring. You know, in comparison, it's so boring. You know, that this is just, they couldn't follow it for me. They weren't able to follow it.
Well, I think even a band would agree with that, actually. I mean, it is their, like, magnet.
Yeah.
Way, you know.
It's just fucking, it's head and shoulders above anything else they brought afterwards. I can't remember the name.
They should have let the NHS use that album cover to put people off contracting piles.
It would have worked. I was gutted when they pulled out of Bloodstock because they were going to play Bloodstock, but they're playing next year now.
That though, wouldn't there? A lot of that is health issues.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
don't blame them.
It was basically a British festival this year, Bloodstock, or pretty much almost British because obviously none of the overseas bands had come over except Devin Townsend.
That's right. Yeah.
I suppose we better do Gus's number one then.
Yes. Hang on a minute. Good old Gus, he's put it upside down.
Just the mess of you.
Where is he gone? Hang on. I've got rid of his thread. Oh, there we go. He did speak English or die. All right. Well, he's going for, and I must admit, when it comes to albums that really pop my head off, Exodus, Tempo of the Damned.
All right, yeah, cool.
More modern one,
yeah.
Was one hell of a smacker of an album. That's what it's gone for.
That was their first one back after they'd been away for I don't know how long it was, but that was a fucking blinder. After the disappointment of Force of Habit, that was just like, wow, not a fucking.
What was it, 4 or 5 years, wasn't it?
It seemed longer, but I'm not too sure.
Was that Duke singing?
No, that's Sousa's on that.
Sousa's on that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's an incredible album.
It's a long album as well. It's like 15 tracks or something, isn't it? And it's like, like so many like Blacklist and bloody and then even the cover versions. Dirty D. Is it Dirty D? I think it's Dirty D's.
No, is that on that?
No, one has got a cover version.
They do Overdose, don't they? But that's on. Fabulous Disaster, I think that's on.
Yeah, no, I can't remember. I thought it was Dirty D's, but I can't remember now.
Yeah.
It's one of I'm sure it's an AC/DC track, but I can't remember.
Oh, they did. They did Dirty D's, and they did Lowrider by War as well.
Yeah, Lowrider was Fabulous Disaster. The first album of theirs that I bought. So that's one of my favourite Exodus ones. It was the first one I remember buying from. So it's the one I was most familiar with.
Cajun Hell's a really good track on that album.
Yeah, Open Season and Verbal Razors, Verbal Razors, cut you down to size. Yeah,
Fabulous Disaster and Bonded by Blood.
Yeah. If ever after, you'll hear the laughter. World's being plastered by an evil bastard. It's like, it's just fucking great fucking lyrics.
I love their lyrics, man.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna look up. It's got some driving riffs on it. Some awesome.
Yeah. Can't remember the songs now, but I remember for a time when War is My Shepherd. How could I fucking forget that? And the Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah,
some great fucking.
On that, doesn't he?
Yeah, culling the herd, sealed with a fist. There's a lot of good wordplay on it as well.
Yeah, War is My Shepherd. Yeah, that's a killer track.
Yeah, a lot of good. Trying to find the extra track that's on there. I think it might be on the limited edition digipack, which I've got. It's Dirty Deeds. Yeah, Dirty Deeds done dirt cheap.
Right.
It's on the digipack. That's why I probably knew it. Maybe you guys didn't because you haven't. Maybe you've got the one that hasn't got the extra track. So yeah. But it's another one. Every single track is absolutely fucking cracker on there. It's all killer, no filler, as the saying goes.
Yeah. So Matt, what's your last pick, Matt?
I was having loads of trouble coming up with one. I was going to pick one off of our album, but I thought, no, I better not. So all that set aside, thinking about all the tracks that really did it for me, I'm going to go back to Megadeth again.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pick a track, not an album.
Okay.
That's all right. And that's In My Darkest Hour.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That whole album anyway, but that track from that album to me, that was a time in my life that went boom, click straight into it, and that was where I've been ever since. That's really been the music direction for me. Just that one track. I just really loved it. I still do. I play it all the time.
Yeah.
It's an amazing song.
The whole album though runs again, it's just an amazing song.
That's So Far Goes So Good So What, isn't it?
Yeah, which is a great album.
Yeah, that's the first one of those. That's the first one of those that I got. So to me, it's like my favourite as well. Yeah.
And that was just as experimental as all the others. If you ask me, My Darkest Hour, out of all of them on that album, Destruction. You're not wrong there, Ken.
Yeah. You're feeling overkill.
Bestial Invasion.
And if we're doing honourable mentions, it will be
Destruction. I'm kind of like with Destruction. I had a couple of their albums, and I never because I've heard so many other records, I never really listened to them that much. I didn't really know them. And like when they brought later when I was doing a fanzine, they brought out some other albums, and they were really good. I really enjoyed the albums that I heard from them when I was reviewing them. Like I got promos. I thought they were really. I can't remember the album. What's the one with? Oh fuck it. I can't remember the name of the song. I know it's going to annoy me, but when I went to see him once, and I was like, do I know Destruction? I kind of know Destruction, but I don't. But every time every song was, oh yeah, I remember this one. And the next one, oh yeah, I fucking know this one. And then, oh, I know this one. And like, it was like around Christmas time. I was fucking busy as fuck at work. I was absolutely knackered, and I went along to see Destruction. And I was going like, if I hadn't bought the ticket, I would have fucking just stayed at home, not bothered. Oh fuck it, I bought the ticket. I'm gonna go. And I literally fucking, it was one of them nights where the power of metal compels you. And I was just fucking by the end of the night, fucking energy was way up there. I was fucking loving it. It was a really good.
They're still great live. The thing with Destruction is they're one of them old bands that have come out with some kick-ass modern albums. Really good modern albums.
Definitely.
So, All Hell Breaks Loose is a fucking kick-ass album.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the Thrash thing. When I got into the big four Thrash, it was them 88 albums. So it was So Far So Good, Justice for All, South Heaven, and
that makes sense. Some of your choices, you can see that.
Yeah, that was all my sort of when I started. It was them 88 albums, but I'm
just gonna say if your number one is Pantera, Elric, I'm gonna kick you out.
They're not a thrash metal band. They're not.
Good, acknowledged.
Funny enough, off of one of my favourite Megadeth songs, which is not one that's that popular, off of So Far So Good So What, is Mary Jane. Mary Jane. It's one of my favourite songs.
Yeah. I love it. There's a lot of riffs from other songs in Mary Jane.
Liar's a good track as well. Liar's a good track.
Mouth.
Yeah. Hooky Mouth.
Yeah. Well, again, like, we discussed this band and are they thrash, are they death thrash? But I think of them as, I think they can be in this conversation. When this album came out, I was obsessively listening to it.
Right.
Funny enough, I heard it on the Friday Rock show with Tommy Vance first up.
Is it Sepultura?
Yeah, it is Sepultura, and I couldn't stop playing this album. I see them on this tour as well, and I just went mental. Sepultura. It's just amazing. The guitar tone in it, I love the guitar tone in it, and it's just the songs are so great. Arise, then Ember on Its Cells, still a bit sort of technical in a way, but also a bit deathy.
Very rhythm based for a change.
Yeah.
I think the vocals definitely make it sound more deathy for me. I always thought the vocal style has much more of a death kind of feel to it.
Yeah. I just love the whole vibe of it. Infected Voice, Altered State, great fucking album. And I see him at the Town and Country Club, now known as the Forum, on this tour. So that was amazing to see him then. I
remember seeing him in Hammersmith Odeum, but I can't remember who with.
So good.
Do you remember who played with him at Hammersmith Odeum?
Yeah, that's right. They played with Anthrax.
Was it Anthrax?
Yeah, they supported Anthrax.
I'm sure some headlining Hammersmith Odeum as well, though. That could be
they did it very soon after, but I know they played when Anthrax did the Among the Living tour. Sepultura supported them on that tour. It's
come to the stage in my life I can't fucking remember what gigs I've been to. It's just fucking terrible. I mean, Carcass Carcass got together and started doing.
Lager was £1.20 in the oven.
Yeah.
Still is in Withersmith? No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I'm fucking terrible at remembering shit.
I know what your number one is, Graham. I will know what your number one is, so get it out.
Yeah, okay. Forbidden Evil. I'm not ranking. I mean, this just happens to be the last one I've chosen out of 5. This was the first one that popped in my head when I was thinking like, what great thrash records that I love. And for this album, is just fucking thrash perfection. Absolute thrash perfection. There's not a fucking bad track on it. It's just fucking the riffing. I remember like I was at a gig. My mate Lindsay was DJing upstairs. One of the tracks came on. I'm fucking headbanging. I'm singing along to it. I'm fucking there. And these young kids like come up to me like obviously never heard it before. Hey mate, what was that? It was just playing there. That's really fucking good. And it was just like, yeah, it's Forbidden Evil. Check it out. Just wanted to make sure that this young generation know about this fucking band. Because it's just fucking awesome.
They're very unsung.
Yeah. Funny thing about that as well is, I mean, I like the album, but I don't know it as well as like Graham does. But like, I did exactly the same. I think Lindsay was playing it, and like, Lindsay, what's this? This is fucking awesome. It's forbidden. It's just one. But,
that's a good genre to say that you are. We're addictive ambience. No, they're very good. That's an excellent album.
Yeah, that's another band.
I should put that on my playlist again.
It's another band though. Like a lot of people like the Twisted Into Form album that came next, and to me, it was like paled in comparison to that album. I mean, it was just there's something about it. I mean, I think it could be to do with expectation. I think that's a lot. Yeah, because if you like an album really a lot, and when new one's coming out, you fucking expect it to be just as good, better, and sometimes you. Like you say, because your expectations are so high, you can't get into it so much. You don't get, and also they're kind of like some of their later albums as well, which don't really get talked about. Are all pretty decent. I've not heard enough album by them. They had Green, they had, and it was in my brain for about a split second, and it just fell out again.
I've known Graham for years, and he does this all the time.
Yeah. They've got a few other albums. Oh, fuck it, can't remember it now. But yeah, they're pretty decent actually. I think better than the Twisted Into Form for me. But that might have been because I'd given them a bit. I think probably the Twisted Into Form was a result of being straight after this one, and so I couldn't compare it favourably. And when I heard the other ones later on, I didn't judge them so harshly because it was a more distance between the albums. I don't bloody know. I psychoanalyze my tastes, but.
I think a lot of albums do that though. Like when using To Kill 'Em All, when you heard Ride the Lightning.
Yeah.
It was a bit. I don't know.
Yeah, it's very different, isn't it? It's quite a leap.
It was.
Yeah.
So, has Gus got any honourable mentions?
No, we've been through all Gus's, I do believe.
Yeah.
You keep telling me that every time I come off his thread.
Yeah.
We should go to like what Kenneth was saying about Destruction. We haven't mentioned Creator. We haven't mentioned Sodom. Are you even wearing the t-shirt?
My honourable mentions.
Yeah.
Do you have any? Go on.
I said my favourite of the German thrash bands is Creator. Yeah. I think they're the ones that somehow stuck out for me more. But Sodom and like Destruction, like when I went to see Sodom, and I was like, I know their stuff kind of, but every song that came on, I was like, oh yeah, I know this one. Oh yeah, I know this one. So you kind of know them more than you realise, kind of thing. Yeah.
Do you have any honourable mentions to mention, Matt?
Crikey, I'm going through the list. I always think Flotsam and Jetson's Doomsday for the Deceiver was a damn good album.
Yes.
And I don't know why it never went anywhere after that. It was really strange. I don't know why. So that's one I always listen to now and again. I like digging that one out.
I prefer No Place for Disgrace. I think that's a good album. Yeah.
It's like them two, isn't it? People talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, like you say, there's so many bands out there, like Death Angel was mentioned, and Creator.
We've not mentioned Dark Angel.
Not mentioned Dark Angel yet.
Overkill, fucking great thrash band. Yeah.
Well, I'll ring off some of my bloody honourable mentions then. Oh, Jake, by the way, got one more to mention, didn't I? No, I think. You went for Creator, Pleasure to Kill.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, some honorable mentions that I don't own. My favorite Testament, the New Order. I love the New Order. That's great. That and the Legacy, but New Order. Exodus, Bonded by Blood. You mentioned it earlier. That's up there for me. Sodom, Obsessed by Cruelty, the first album, and this the first EP in the Sign of Evil. It's more like it's almost like a black metal album.
Yeah.
And Agent Orange is cool as well. Destruction, Inferno, Overkill, the first album, fucking awesome. And All Hell Breaks Loose, the comeback album in 2000, which has Thrash to Death on it and Now to the Cross. That's really good.
Yeah. Shows you what a massive genre it is when you start doing this.
That's the one I was trying to think of earlier when I was trying to remember. Now to the Cross is a fucking banging track.
I know.
Oh man. Now to the fucking cross.
Graham's a big lover of like the British thrash that come out that everyone's kind of ignored. And this is a great album. I always love Moschenstein. And they're back and they're hilarious. And he's a 50-year-old dude running, well, older than 50, running around like a crazy person. Like he's
still doing it now.
Yeah.
Now always been there.
Yeah.
Always a big mention to Pete D. Oh, well, there you go.
It's got to be a mention. That first album, right? Really good.
That is a great album.
They look like a sort of glammy band.
They do, rather.
Yeah, they're thrashy as hell.
Yeah.
You never found a singer, if you ask me.
Never found a singer.
You never found a front man.
No, he didn't, did he? He kept changing, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he wasn't even a singer. It was a bass player in GBH. It was weird.
That might be what held them back. Like maybe if they'd have a constant singer, they would have got a lot more recognition. Maybe the fact they changed every 5 minutes maybe was to their detriment.
Well, Jeff Waters occasionally sung. He could do it. I'm surprised.
Well, he ended up doing it. He started doing the demos, but he could only ever do he wanted a proper singer, but he ended up doing it again, which was much better. It did take him 20 years.
So Creator's one of my favourite bands, and I think the first 5 albums are all great, but my favourite Creator, I think, is Extreme Aggression. Fourth album. Just the guitar tone.
Excellent production.
I know, Betrayer, Bringer of Torture, title track.
They've just got some fucking awesome, terrible certainty is a really cool song.
The worst album cover they ever done.
It's quite dull, isn't it?
Yeah, but the album's awesome.
Talking about UK, there's like a couple like Reanimator, a cool UK band.
Yeah, Reanimator.
We mentioned Onslaught, Sabbat, of course. Fucking hell.
Onslaught.
Yeah. Holocide. They're split a new album recently. Holocide. They've got a new album just come out. I've not actually heard it yet, but they were kind of like power metal when they started, but they're kind of like thrown into the thrash kind of like bracket now. And they're saying that they've got an album just come out, so well worth checking it out.
Eccentrics were an old one.
Toranaga.
Right, I know this.
DAM are fucking awesome.
Oh yeah, you love DAM.
I love DAM. Yeah, I was fucking trying to remember shit. It's like, great work, please.
That's how much of it there is, though, which is great, isn't it? You know what I mean? When you go back and you see, and then when you look at some of these bands, like Acid Rain just finished playing again. You know what I mean? They're on a tour, and that it's all still going on.
Yeah,
and that's wonderful, isn't it? When you see how it's grown.
Yeah,
I think that's great.
I mean, with this album I'm going to show you, we talk about Rain in Blood and how like aggressive it was for the time, and like how it upped the ante. This album came out in '82, and like for me, like these are considered a punk band, but this is a fucking thrash album as far as I'm concerned. This is fast as fuck and really aggressive, and that's Misfits Earth AD.
Right.
Yeah, it's like more of a thrash album than it is a punk album. It's really ultra aggressive and fast. Fucking awesome. 16 minutes long. That's all it is.
A few other bands you mentioned. We mentioned Suicidal Tendencies in passing. Fucking awesome band. And also Nuclear Assault. We barely mentioned them.
That's what I come up. That's what my next record was. Yeah.
Dark Angel we kind of mentioned, but
yeah. That's my favourite. Sort of Survive.
Right.
Record. Like,
Sadus, kind of thrashy.
Yeah. But
they were another band I couldn't decide they were death metal or thrash metal.
Yeah. I love Survive. Brainwashed off this album is awesome. Rise from the Ashes, I love this album. All right, and they're political as well. These are one of the sort of political type bands. Yeah.
Social conscience kind of stuff.
This Onslaught album doesn't get enough love for me.
Heathen. Yeah, I thought that was a really good album.
In Search for Sam Onslaught, it's a really good album.
It's a decent album,
Yeah, it's got the melodic vocal and that. I think it was really good, actually. Grim it fucked the band up totally. I've heard interviews with the guitarist, and he goes, the record company wanted them to be Metallica.
Yeah.
When they weren't Metallica, they dropped them and it all went to shit, you know.
Yeah. That was the Metallica was a fucking one-off, once in a lifetime, once in a fucking genre thing, really, wasn't it? No one else is going to have that sort of luck, you know? I don't think so.
No. Yeah, mentioning this band don't really do bad albums, do they? It's like all through their entire career. It's crazy. But I think that's my favourite to kill the... Yeah,
they did have a little period like later on where I was like not as good as not quite. I think it's kind of that was half my fault. I think because I was getting more into death metal, so I think that kind of coloured it for me as well. You know, but the early fucking
I don't know about that album cover. It's kind of a bit
dreadful. Isn't
it is terrible, but it's a kick up. United Cross, Wrecking Crew. That's enough. That's enough. Carl said.
You should do that one night. Dreadful album covers, top 5.
Yeah, some bad ones. You mentioned this is actually my favourite Sabbat.
Right.
Time to Come, first album, but yeah, really cool. Andy Sneap, look at him with the hair. He's in Judas Priest now. He has no hair. All lose it. That's cool. And what else I got? So I suppose this is their only proper Thrash album, really, isn't it? Join the Army, Suicidal Tendencies.
Yeah, there was always like a crossover band.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the one that stomped.
Thrash, wasn't it? This got so much stick because obviously the one before this was the punk rock album, wasn't it? You know,
that's right.
Stick, but it's cool. Suicidal Maniac, Join the Army. Escape.
Seeing them at Bloodstock in 2018 was pretty cool. That was really
cool.
Cool.
Yeah. They're great.
Mate, yeah, it was great.
Great album cover. Oh, that's just nuts. It has production-wise, it's actually pretty naff as it goes, but it's pretty cool.
Well, I remember liking it, but...
Got 2 more. We ain't mentioned these. I got quite a lot. Voivod.
Oh,
Voivod. Yeah. The first few Voivod albums are really cool. Different, like psychedelic thrash. I don't know, industrial thrash or whatever. But
it's one of them bands I never really sort of got massively into Voivod. I'm not even sure I've got any Voivod albums to be. I've got one CD from a later one that I saw at a charity shop. But yeah, never kind of like.
They're quite weird. They got their own sound. They got their own thing coming.
Their
own look, which I like, because of that.
Yeah.
So I saved this one to last. This is one of my favourite sort of thrash albums. They're an old thrash band, but it's quite underground, and I just think this is a fucking awesome album. It's so good. And they did a whole bunch of albums, but really the first one's the only one that was like really full on thrash. So they tried to do other things, but New Jersey's Whiplash,
right?
Power and Pain. If you've not heard this, fuck me. You gotta hear this. It's so good. And it's like really early on. It's like 85 or something, but it's super aggressive. Power and Pain.
That was on the back of everything that was going on when everyone was trying to get that sound. They did really well, and then they lost it, I think, after that. But
yeah, they did a couple of albums that were good, and then the guitarist vocalist dropped out. They brought a vocalist. They tried to change, it's super aggressive, and everyone in the band's called Tony.
I've just thought actually a couple of bands that I liked, Sanctuary and Toxic. Sanctuary and Toxic. I remember they brought out an album in the same year, and they were both cracking albums.
I think if you talk about modern thrash, I think Evil, are a really great modern thrash band. Yeah. Shrapnel, which I saw at Bloodstock recently, they're really cool.
Mutant were cool.
Mutant, yeah.
Yeah.
Toxic Holocaust. So yeah, it's just cool that Thrash has made a bit of a comeback. What's that?
Yeah.
Gamma bomb.
Gamma bomb, yeah.
So
yeah. I was talking like I remember I was always like when I was doing my fanzine back in the 90s, I was saying, thrash metal was going to come back one day, thrash metal was going to come back, and it's come back and gone away again, and kind of like, well, I think it's better now because it seems to me that all the genres are kind of an equal part. It's like everything's going on at the same time now. It's like it seems to be less trend. And like people stick to what they like now rather than saying like, oh, this is no longer popular, I'm going to start playing this instead, because everything seems to be on a fairly even kill, maybe.
Yeah, the have-tos have become the wanna-dos, which is...
yeah. So I think this was successful. Get some more people in maybe next time. But
yeah.
I've written a few notes down anyway.
Yeah.
Plenty to be downloading.
And it's nice to see it as well.
I'm kind of like shit now for remembering stuff. I've always been shit for remembering stuff. But like Carly our housemate was saying to me today, I played one of your records the other day. You probably haven't listened to it since you got it. And I think, no, I probably haven't. Like, it's probably years, like decades since I last played it. I only ever play my vinyl. And it's like, and because we both do like, he does like online radio, I do a podcast. And it's just like, I don't even remember what I played last week on the show, let alone what fucking old stuff I've got, just so many bands. I also kind of wonder to myself if like, I don't know. I was just having a daydream as I was walking down the off license. I was thinking, back in the day, you used to go to the record shop, you'd buy the record, you'd have the record you played. Now it's all downloads. It's like I wonder if people can have the same kind of like affinity and like obsession with an album when all you've got is a couple of fucking tracks, a couple of names written on a screen. You haven't got the actual. Yeah.
Although Final is making the comeback. I mean, there is
still Final, but do you reckon? Do you reckon there's the same kind of like affinity and adoration for an album when you haven't actually got a physical product, or you think it's just the songs that makes it?
It's through the physical, the sleeve and what's on the back, and double open cover and all that. You do miss all that. Even with CDs, it died. You used to all too small.
Just the memories as well, because like you'd go, I remember when I picked this one up from the shop, I was with my mate, and like, but now it's like, you're not going to say, I remember when I downloaded this. It's not going to be, it's not have the same nuance, is it? Like you remember the old record shops you used to go to. Like we just mentioned, we were talking earlier on about some of the record shops we checked out. And you don't have that, like, I remember when I downloaded this off Napster or whatever the bloody hell it is nowadays. I know that's well old.
When I got
that. Yeah, exactly. I was on the blog when I downloaded this one. I remember it well.
What a momentous moment.
Yeah.
So I think I might do the next top 5, maybe death metal. I don't know. What do you like with your death metal, Matt? Is it your thing?
Not really my thing, but at the same time, always enjoyed the rhythms.
Yeah. But I might do that next, see if anyone's interested to do that.
Yeah, everyone throw it out there. I know a few that will do.
Everyone's got 5, surely. Oh, yeah, Canadian. Yeah, Razor. Violent Restitution. The fucking guitar tone in that is proper nasty. Yeah, it's a Razor. Yeah. What they call fucking from Canada as well. They only did one album. Slaughter.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. That's almost borderline death metal as well, that one, isn't it? Possessed.
Hellstar? Where's Hellstar from?
Oh, yeah, Hellstar, yeah.
Was there a Hellion as well?
Yeah, there's a Hellion.
Sacrifice? That's Canada, right?
Yeah, they're Canadian. Yeah, Sacrifice. Yeah.
Brian Adams.
He's Canadian.
Celendion.
Rush. Come on, Rush.
I wouldn't tar Rush with that, brush.
No. I love Rush. Yesterday I went to see Cinema Strangiato, which is like they're showing their R40 show in the cinema. I went to that yesterday. I was seeing that again.
Cool.
So Matt, have you got any promotion news? Got anything to plug?
Plus, well, there's a new album in the doing. Which is all written and in pre-production. It's done now, the pre-production. We're just relocating to a new studio, which is quite happily our studio, which is being built. So as soon as that's finished, we can move into that, and we will probably record it there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's. And apart from that, we're already gigging and stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, so we're just behind with the recording now because of all the lockdown shit. You know, we was going to get out there and do it then, but so yeah, this year we just want to get out of gigging again. Play the stuff live. You know the way we work. We like to play it live before you even heard it off the album, because that way you're not getting any surprises.
Yeah.
I think, just in the memory again, I think I saw you guys play down the Devonshire Arms with Flayed Disciple. Does that ring a bell?
Possible at a Dev.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did a few gigs at the Dev.
Do you remember?
We played with Flayed Disciple.
Yeah. That's probably about 8 years or fucking 9 years ago or something.
Yeah, that was a long while ago.
Yeah.
I remember when I was interviewing you, like, obviously you were writing the songs and you were quite excited, but I guess like COVID's kind of probably fucked things up.
we had loads planned for that year, and everything fell flat on its face. So yeah, we've let the rush go. A lot of bands immediately have just gone book as it's finished.
Yeah.
We went out and did a gig with Imperium, the Fighting Cocks. And we couldn't believe it because it was the first time we got a sold out notice from the guy online.
Wow.
While we were still sound checking and the gig was sold out. So that confirmed that it was good to get back gigging again. So yeah, that's what we're doing now. You know, that's why I hit on you straight away. When
I can fucking make it.
So yeah, we've got to make.
Keep hitting me up. I definitely want to come and see you. You know, obviously.
Yeah, we'll do. We'll do. So yeah, booking gigs, and again, once we got the album out, we're still pushing Killing Time. That's still going well. Downloads are going well.
Yeah.
People still buying CDs. You know, we get them direct. So. Yeah, all ticking over and back as it should be, but it's just booking the gigs at the moment. There's so many people jumping in and doing it. It's great. So Halberd are back up and playing again. Another good thrash band, Halberd. Okay. So we're hoping to play their comeback gig down in Gravesend. Yeah, the Red Line. I'll give you a shout on that one. That'll be a good night.
Yeah, I'm going down there for the. I'm going down there for the New Wave of British Heavy Metal Festival as well. I know people are doing that, so I'll be down there for that.
Let me know when that's on. I might.
Yeah, I can't remember. I'll let you know, but yeah.
But yeah, really, it's all kicking off again, and everywhere's getting really booked up for the next month or two, and then it quietens down. So
bands really want to play it, and people really want to see bands. That's the fire.
Don't want to put down on one, but I'm pretty sure I've seen a few things saying there might be another lockdown in October.
Yeah, well, it's possible.
I'm not sure if that's
possible. We'll see.
You never know.
Shall we call it a day, Gray?
Yes.
Yeah. So big thanks then, Matt, for coming on.
Getting to the lavatory, I've done quite well.
Yeah. Big cheers to Gus as well.
I will do. He's texted me saying he's really sorry.
Sorry about he couldn't get on properly, and I don't know what happened to Andrew, but never mind.
I can see the internet repair van up the road. I'm going to go and let his time down.
Great timing.
Dear. So nice one, guys. Great.
Yeah. Cheers for coming on.
Eric, take care, mate. I'll see you later, boys.
See you later. I'm going to play the old.